Honolulu is the capital of Hawaii and the main point of entry for most visitors to the state. Honolulu falls roughly into three areas that include Waikiki, downtown, and Pearl Harbor. The main attraction is Waikiki, a peninsula covering nearly half a square mile, with a beautiful stretch of soft sand beach. This small area is one of the most densely populated in the whole of the United States, with more hotels, restaurants, and shops than in the rest of Hawaii. Downtown, the center and historical area, is full of sightseeing opportunities with museums, historic buildings, and famous statues. Plan your time here with our list of the top attractions and things to do in Honolulu. 1. Waikiki. 19th century Hawaiian royalty used to come to the Honolulu neighborhood of Waikiki to relax and surf, just as scores of tourists do today. That's because this area's famous beach, which is a string of several beaches dotting the island's southwest coastline, is the go-to spot for its soft, honey-colored sand and the high waves that lap the shores during the winter months. But you don't have to be a surfer to appreciate Waikiki Beach. Just lie back on a beach towel, relax, and gaze up at the majestic Diamond Head State Monument in the distance. When you need a break from the beach itself, there are scores of shops and restaurants lining the adjacent Kalakaua Avenue. The street is home to some of the world's most exclusive designer boutiques, including Cartier, Coach, Hermes, and Louis Vuitton. Many of the best Oahu hotels also overlook Waikiki Beach. 2. Pearl Harbor. Visiting Honolulu would not be complete without a visit to Pearl Harbor, where the infamous Japanese attack in December 1941 killed 2,403 people and forced the U.S. to enter World War II. Pearl Harbor is a National Historic Landmark and also an active military base. Organized tours will take you to important sites, such as the battleship the USS Missouri, the site where the Japanese surrendered, the USS Arizona Memorial, the Pacific Aviation Museum Pearl Harbor, the USS Bowfin where you can get a glimpse of life on a World War II submarine, and the Pacific Submarine Museum with its indoor and outdoor exhibits. You will also see a documentary on the history of Pearl Harbor and so much more. It is an emotional journey, and there is much to see, so plan on spending a day going from site to site, especially if you are traveling with kids, who will love roaming aboard battleships and a submarine. 3. Diamond Head State Monument. Looming in sinewy, volcanic ridges high above the downtown and bustling coastal strips of central Honolulu, the Diamond Head State Monument is one of the most iconic sites on the skyline of the Aloha state's capital. Many hikers wax up the walking boots and make for the maintained trail that carves its way along the edge of Diamond Head. This goes for just under a mile, passes through tunnels and scales staircases, all before offering up sweeping panoramas of the Pacific Ocean and the city. Those planning on making the trek should be well prepared with water and sturdy footwear. 4. Hanama Bay. Hanama Bay can be found on Oahu's southeastern side and is about a 30-minute drive away from Honolulu. It's not surprising that one of the top things to see in Honolulu has to do with water and marine life. A day spent snorkeling in Hanama Bay can be enjoyed by nature lovers, for sure. You'll be able to see about 400 species of fish as well as sea turtles while swimming in the bay. Remember to look but don't touch when snorkeling in the bay. It's alright to observe the sea life that Hanama Bay tries to preserve, but don't touch or disrupt them too much. When you arrive at Hanama Bay, you're normally required to watch a short video about the marine life and the preservation of it, and you can then take the short 5-minute hike to the bottom of the crater to get to the beach and get in the cool, clear water. 5. USS Missouri Battleship. It was on September 2, 1945, that a delegation of Japanese politicians and generals headed by the Foreign Minister Mamoru Shigemitsu stepped aboard the USS Missouri. They came to sign the official documents of surrender that were to end the Second World War. And that's just one of the totemic historical moments that this hulking colossus of an ocean frigate has seen throughout its illustrious days at sea. It's also fought in 3 global conflicts, from the Pacific theater to the Middle East. Today, travelers can come to join one of the regular tours of the mighty ship, while youth groups also get the chance to spend a night in the onboard military berths, just like a real U.S. sailor. 6. USS Arizona Memorial. If you only have time to visit one must-see Honolulu attraction, pay tribute to the heroes and victims of Pearl Harbor with a visit to the USS Arizona Memorial. Built in 1962 to honor the 2,335 sailors, soldiers, and Marines, as well as the 68 civilians who lost their lives during the attack on Pearl Harbor. The memorial was designed by Honolulu architect Alfred Price and sits above the site where the USS Arizona sank. It is only accessible by boat. This visit includes a round-trip boat ride, a 23-minute documentary, and personal time lasts 1 hour and 15 minutes. Admission is free. To make sure you get the date and time you want, book online ahead of time. This must-see attraction is one of 4 ticketed attractions at Pearl Harbor. 7. Makapuu Point Lighthouse Trail. Less than 6 miles northeast of the Coco Crater Trail lies the 2-mile-long Makapuu Point Lighthouse Trail. Easier to track than the one at Coco Crater, this free trail overlooks the Pacific Ocean and is a prime spot for spotting seabirds and whale watching between November and May. The path also leads to the Red Roof Makapuu Lighthouse, which was built in 1909. Visitors love that the Makapuu Point Lighthouse Trail is paved and features ample benches, making it easy for travelers of all ages to explore. Many also rave about the trail's amazing views, adding that bringing a camera is a must. But remember, this path is mostly exposed to the sun and wind, so dress appropriately, wear sunscreen, and pack plenty of water. Hawaii's Department of Land and Natural Resources recommends allotting at least 2 hours to complete this hike. 8. Iolani Palace. Inspired by European castles and palaces, it was built in 1882 by King Kalakaua, the last king of Hawaii. However, the monarchy was overthrown just 10 years after the palace's completion, and this great building was, for some time, simply turned into an administration center, and much of its furniture and collectibles were sold off at auction. Stopping by to taking a look at the exterior is a good start. It's the only royal palace on U.S. soil. But we highly recommend the tour, which showcases and explains the architecture, history, and mixed use of the palace. 9. ShangriLa. The ShangriLa Museum features the complete collection of the Doris Duke Foundation for Islamic Art, a result of the benefactor's love for Islamic design and artwork. The largest portion of the collection is its ceramic art, most notably tile work, including medieval Persian examples. Some of the most striking examples, however, are the large architectural pieces commissioned for the museum and the 193 rows, created by artists in Iran, India, and Morocco. Other works include textiles, wood, glass, and decorative objects from Spain, the Middle East, India, and Asia, with the collection totaling around 2,500 pieces. 10. Lanikai Beach. Though not actually in Honolulu, Lanikai Beach is still one of the top beaches to go to when in Oahu. It is found in the town of Kailua. Dreaming of Hawaiian beaches? It can't get more beautiful than Lanikai Beach. It has a fantastic stretch of white sand and crystal clear waters. You'll want to dive in immediately. Besides swimming, Lanikai Beach is also known as a great snorkeling spot. Second only to Hanama Bay, Lanikai Beach can get windy at times, so it's the perfect place for some sailing and windsurfing. You could also go kayaking in its calm waters.